Hey everybody, happy end of week one of distance learning. I want to bundle the communications that I send out from the Innovation Center, everything about technology integration, and I'm trying my best not to overwhelm your inbox. I know you have plenty of emails that you're sending out and receiving throughout the week. I'm keeping track of those communications in a tool called Keep. Keep is one of the tools in the G Suite. You can access it by going to keep.google.com and you can start your own kind of tabs along the way. The one that I'm keeping track of throughout the week is all about communications. Reminder to staff to check your spam folder email. It is a chance for you to catch this is a time where maybe you don't know that you're getting messages. So a way to do that is in your spam or junk folder in Google Gmail. So check there. When you're creating a task for an assignment, it's really going to help, in addition to having descriptive text, to have a little image, a little screenshot of the article, a little screenshot of what they're after. So that way people can see what they're after when they're searching on Classroom or when they click into a link. Any supportive visual is going to help take the cognitive load off of the kiddos and kind of put them even more at ease. Email notifications in Classroom. I've got several questions about this week. If I go into Rachel Carroll's and Allie Chapman's Spanish 2B, I can show you where this lives in the upper left. You can go all the way down. This is in everybody's classroom. I just happened to open theirs. And in settings, you'll click on the settings in the bottom, and then you can decide whether or not you get email notifications and what those look like, so you can toggle off, toggle on to do that. And there is no save feature. It just kind of has a running save, just as a heads up. If you are interested in getting a list of all the email addresses for your students, just email me and I can get those out to you. Kira had a really great use for them for her kiddos, and I was able to export a way to do that in Synergy. Let me know if you need those to send out an invitation through another tool, etc. Shared drive. There is a way to get around using a shared drive that you didn't originate, and that is to use the exact link to share in your classroom. So you're not pulling from Drive, you're actually just sharing the resource, the doc, the slide presentation. You're just going to include that URL right in it into your classroom assignment. Sorry, this feels rushed. Classroom resources by topic. If I go into another classroom, you notice that everything with chapter 3 and everything about the house is in one topic. You can create topics along the way in Classroom. You can just create a topic and you can give the name of it, and then you can just assign it in the classroom. So these are all like or similar tasks. These are all connected to the next segment of instruction. So just as a way for you to kind of keep organized, and also when your kids click into classwork and they want to find out, what is everything about the environment unit, they'll get just the environmental unit tasks, or just the video instruction assignment tasks, or just around the house tasks. One other thing I want to give props to on world languages, you'll notice that I'm licensed in world languages, so I probably give a lot of credit to world language teachers. So let me go back to this. One thing that I noticed that Rachel and Allie are using well are just a screenshot of maybe a maybe a PowerPoint or a Google slide, just to use it as a part of the banner. So she is reminding her kids that these are the expectations and kind of the agenda for the week for her class. I think it's a really good way to use that as a part of that banner. And you can upload a photo, which would just be like taking a screenshot to do that. Back to my list. Procedure for getting help, as always, in Rapid Identity, or people call this lock and key a lot of times. The purple icon for BHS Tech and Innovation. Fill out the form. One thing that I've added is the idea of using a phone number to reach you at. So if you don't mind sharing that phone number, I can reach out to you quicker. If you're having a problem, and I can try to work with you over the phone. I will say, giving tech help by the phone, actually by Meets and Hangouts, it's easier because I'm able to see your screen. It's by 6 feet away. That makes it extra challenging. I would just reiterate to kids that email's the official communication for students right now. It's really the one way that you can consistently communicate with kids. So the more that you share that out with parents, guardians, and students, the better. I'm going to include a link in this email about why not to use Zoom. There was a young lady that was just invading Zooms. And there are reasons that we're not using that anymore. Mostly because of security purposes. So just as a reminder to use Google Meet, Google Hangouts. I was listening to NPR. I listened to NPR on the way in the morning. I did this morning. And I heard a story about distance learning. I'll link it in that email also. But, I guess there are just a lot of emotions going on this last couple of weeks. It's like the 4-alarm fire of tech integration to onboard 165 teachers as a team of 3 of us to get everybody onboarded and thinking about how learning is different as a result of doing it via distance learning. And I just want to reiterate that, it sounds like we're in this for the long haul. This isn't going to be just a few weeks. And, selfishly, I hope for teachers that they're able to see their kids one more time between now and early June to give them the correct kind of sign off, the way to say goodbye the right way, the way that they had hoped for. And I hope that you get that opportunity. The last thing I'm going to share from my list here for the week is to keep a running list of teacher devices. My first year in Anoka Hennepin schools, we as teachers received these. And I'm getting some feedback, and that's good. It will help shape future decisions. And I want to gather that feedback through the Tech and Innovation Committee and be able to share that with the district and just share what are things that are going really well, what are things that people want to see. The signal that I'm getting from the district office is that when desktops break and are no longer functional, we're pulling desktops out and not replacing them. So the more input that we can share out in terms of mobile devices, the better, to help inform the purchases that are made so that we're in a good place. For example, one of the things that stands out to me since distance learning, I've usually used this desktop that I'm using right now in the office, is the microphones aren't very good if you're away from the screen. So unless you're direct on, the microphone really isn't that good on these laptops. So it's something to be aware of when you're recording or when you're in a video conference. Thanks for making this pivot with grace. And I guess what I am also proud of is I listened to an English teacher's introduction of her class on her welcome video, and she just said things that I would have. Things like, I don't know if we're going to do this right. I'm going to have to lean on my students. And it's probably not going to go perfect, and we're just going to try it. We're going to give it a go. And one thing that she said in that intro video was that people are already doing things that are innovative. So I think that because we don't have an option, now we're put in a position where we've got to get creative and think about, what do summatives look like, and how do I make sure that students are engaging, and just thanks for trying this out and for giving it your best. I haven't heard a single complaint from a classroom teacher. I have heard things like it's challenging. I've heard things like I'm not yet really good at this, but thanks for giving it your all this first week in particular and the week prior in planning. I wish you a restful weekend, and just thanks for an awesome first week of distance learning. Take care, everyone.